fight anybody. I know it sounds really overconfident, especially because I'm only 4-0, but I really do think I'm one of, if not the best amateurs at 125 and 135 in the whole world. I just haven't gotten to showcase it yet.
Jackson as my first guest. He just fought this past weekend, Saturday, NEF 60. 4-0 now in the NEF cage with a decision victory. Jackson, how are you?
Good, man. Good. Just soaking it all in. I was just telling you, I took the week off after my fight, expecting that I was going to go to war. I was prepared to sacrifice a little bit of blood for this one. I thought he was going to be a lot tougher. But hey, I love it, so I feel good. I got a week off, and I got no injuries, so
yeah, there you go. So your opponent was Hassan Al-Sadi. He was 3-0. You were also 3-0.
Yep.
So now you advanced to 4-0, giving Hassan his first defeat.
Yeah.
But you also fought his teammate. What was his name again?
Hassan,
yeah.
Qassam,
yeah.
Yeah. Qassam Abdullah. Yeah. Hassim Abdullah. I don't know.
So you already beat one of his teammates, and then you just took out Hassan. So
yeah, he doesn't like
that kind of beating the Troy Institute for the second time.
Hey man, I feel bad. I know their coach probably really wanted to get the win. Their coach is a good guy. I've never trained with him, but I've heard he's a really good guy to train with, and he's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're a bunch of good guys. Actually, I'm sure we'll cross. It's a small state, so I'm sure I'll cross train with them eventually.
Yeah. No, that's good. So before this fight, you were 3-0, all finishes. So this was your first fight that actually went the distance. How did that feel to go 3 full rounds?
Oh man, I got a gas tank for days. I could do a 25-minute fight. Like I don't get tired. I mean, I run 40 miles a week. Get my cardio right at some points. I mean, obviously I have interval training. I do all different types of stuff like heart rate and stuff. But when I go in there, I'm always in killer cardio shape. I can go all day. I know it's gonna sound corny, but my coach was saying to me after, I didn't even break a sweat. I was really bone dry. I was talking the whole time. I was talking to him. My heart rate was so low.
Yeah.
I was so calm in there. I was not even tired. I didn't even take a deep breath.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, for 3 rounds, you were dominating with the grappling. I was watching you, obviously, so I commentated the events as well.
I wish I got to hear it.
So that's one of the other reasons I kind of wanted to do this interview with you, because obviously I commentated this weekend, but the first couple of fights didn't get my audio for commentary. But then I went into the in-cage to interview you in front of everyone, and I don't think that got recorded either. So this was another reason I wanted to start this interview style with you, and then I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can get some more fighters on, get this thing rolling.
No, dude, you're gonna kill it, dude. You're gonna kill it. Everyone's gonna want to come on.
Yeah, no, it was good though. I was excited to have you interview you in the cage after. That was a cool experience.
I had a lot more. If I got a finish, which I should have, it would have been. I had a cool celebration I wanted to do. Or it wasn't like really premeditated. I had a couple ideas in my head for open season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna it was depending on how I was gonna go. But I had a couple ideas in my head. Obviously before the fight, I'm focusing on just solely the fight. So it's not like something I'm thinking like, after the fight when I win, I'm gonna do this or that. But some ideas, like some of my friends will mention some things here or there, and I had a couple of ideas, but it would have been corny because I didn't finish him. But I swear, if the fight went 2 more seconds, I would have finished him. I had him in a locked out choke right at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but he was literally just about to tap. I was wrenching on his face. If I wasn't celebrating before the round was over, I would have finished him, I think.
So do you have a background in like wrestling, striking, or are you just kind of
no,
all together?
I'm actually everyone always thinks I was a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been training for a long time, and I know I've been watching the UFC for a long time, and wrestling, and good cage work, good clinch work, good good submissions and all that stuff. That's the backbone. That's everyone. Obviously, striking is what's flashy and everyone loves that, but wrestling wins fights. And I would say, I don't like to give away my stuff, but everyone talks about it, and I mentioned it in my post-fight interviews. If anyone does research, anyways, like it's no surprise. Like if you talk to people, I'm a striker all day. Like that's my bread and butter.
Yeah.
But I'd say I also have some of the best grappling around too, not just on the amateur scene, but the pro scene as well. I've trained with a lot of high level pros, and I hang in there with all of them. On no, on the feet, I do great, and on the grappling, this was years ago when I was 19. I was at Jackson Wink, and I was grappling, with a lot of high level undefeated pros, and so, you know, yeah, I guess so far, I guess I've had a wrestling base in my past four
Yeah,
fights.
yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I think that's a great base to have. You can kind of take the fight where you want it,
Yeah,
but then also keep it on the feet if you want to stay on the feet or go to the ground.
yeah,
So also on that later card, earlier in the night, we had the 125-pound championship and the 135-pound championship.
right.
And so your fight was at 140. Was it at 140?
130.
130. All right. Yeah. So it was at 130. So are you a bantamweight or a flyweight?
I'm definitely a flyweight. I just don't like cutting weight, and
Okay.
I honestly, dude, I like fight camp. I like eating food. I'm an amateur,
Yeah.
so you know I should be. I'm a real flyweight.
Mhm.
I cut to 130, and it was really easy.
Yeah.
I could have cut an extra 5 pounds, probably no problem.
Yeah.
Uh, I walked in the cage probably at 148 or 150 pounds though.
All right.
So, I can fight. I'm in the middle. I can fight 125 or 135. It's
Yeah.
just some of those bigger 135ers who are cutting from like 165. They're starting camp at 165.
Yeah.
They're getting down to like a shredded 152 and then cutting those 17, 18 pounds of water weight. Like, someone who's doing a real professional cut.
Yeah.
I can't, those guys are just a little too big for me. But like on the amateur scene, like Nick Eldridge and that, Thurman's actually pretty thick in the legs.
Thurman,
But,
yeah.
those guys I could 100% fight, and I could fight even a bigger 35er. It's just that's where the size advantage starts playing a factor, and it's not as
Yeah.
even. So I'd say primarily I'm probably a flyweight. However, I think as I get older and I'm growing in, I think I'll be fighting 135 too, especially on the pro scene.
Yeah. Ever think about going to 145, or is that a little bit too big for you?
That's too big, but for I know who you're thinking of, I'll do it for him. I can get big, dude. I can walk around 165 if I want. I can get a gut.
What do you like? You get a gut. What do you normally walk around at anyway?
Right now, I'm like 153, probably 154.
Okay. And
I ate a lot of food, though.
So when you water cut, I'm assuming you do the water cut like a few days before. What do you start your cut at before you do the water?
So on Sunday, I was 151 pounds before weigh-ins.
Yep.
I was 151, and then I weighed in at 130. So, but that was with a water load. So like I was walking I was walking like 144 before the water load.
Mm-hmm.
Then I water loaded, got up to like 151, and then I cut out sodium and started dropping my water incrementally throughout the week. And then Thursday, I basically didn't drink water. I had like a quarter of a gallon, which I had no sodium in my body, so that's like that my body shred through that. And so that's how I kind of did it, and it was really easy. Like, I was like, it was really easy, honestly. Like I didn't even have to sit in the sauna the morning of weigh-ins.
There you go.
So that's why I know I could made 125 because I didn't even really cut. I just water loaded.
How's your diet normally look?
Yeah, so I don't really track my calories. However, I eat really clean. I'm kind of a health nut, I only eat like organic. I'm not a carnivore diet, but I eat mostly meat, eggs, and fruit. So I eat clean. I eat really well. I just don't track my calories because I haven't had to. If I was to fight at 125, I'd probably, track my calories to kind of get my fat content down a little bit more. So I get, I'd probably have to get a little more cut up for that. But I feel really strong compared to everyone I fought so far. Like I feel like I've been able to manhandle everybody.
You look pretty big in there. When I went up to interview you, you look honestly a little bit bigger than I thought you were gonna be.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing. It's deceiving because I have less fat on me, so I look bigger. But it's really just because I'm kind of more cut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was probably 150 pounds in there.
All right. Yeah. There you go. What do you lift weights at all? Like any strict lift days, or is it?
No, I do need to get into it though. That's starting right now. I've been really lazy, or I've never enjoyed weightlifting. I do circuits and everything like that, and I condition, but I'm not as disciplined with my weightlifting routine as I should be. But I'm gonna start starting this week. Actually, I'm gonna start like 2 to 3 times a week getting in the weight room.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I'm gonna incorporate,
Nice.
especially if I'm gonna be fighting at 35. I gotta put some size on. But like for example, like Nick Eldridge or that Thurman guy, like
Mhm.
I don't think I I don't think they're much bigger than me. Like I think I could hang with those guys easy.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun fight for either of you. Do you have any names off the top of your head that you're looking at for 130 or 35 or 25?
Yeah, that's what's great is I could fight anybody. I know it sounds really overconfident, especially because I'm only 4-0, but I really do think I'm one of, if not the best amateurs at 125 and 135 in the whole world. I just haven't gotten to showcase it yet. Um, just wait for me to get to show my hands. That's really where it's going to get exciting. But to answer your question, I want someone who can wrestle
Yeah.
because Kassam, he just fought guys who weren't very good.
Yeah.
He couldn't wrestle for shit. He looked like he could because he was suplexing those guys, but none of them knew how to wrestle.
He's always
That guy
bigger
just
than his opponents too.
yeah, exactly. And same thing with Hassan is
Yeah.
like he had no wrestling. And I want like he and I know that sounds weird, but he just didn't have any wrestling get ups. He couldn't do anything. And he's lucky I couldn't elbow because half guard's really hard to land punches in.
Yeah.
And he was letting me keep half guard, so I'm gonna keep it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna win the fight that way. But I kept almost throwing elbows, and he was getting pissed about it. I mean, I did probably drop a couple, but
now that you're 4-0, are you planning on fighting again in February? I know NEF announced the next event.
Yeah, I'm fighting February and
Okay.
April. I might even fight in a couple weeks.
All right.
Yeah, my book's open. I'm completely healthy, no injuries. I'm in killer shape.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. So to ask you a question, who would you want me to face? Because I'll say this: Nick Eldridge is turning pro, and actually we're gonna be training partners. You know, he only lives like 3 hours away, so I don't like fighting guys from Maine, especially the higher level guys, because I'm trying to go to the UFC, and they are too.
Yeah.
So why would we fight each other and like kill each other's chances? And like instead we should be training together and fighting guys. There's not enough of us to be fighting each other. Like the higher level guys, like let's fight outside. Let's fight people outside the state and let's work together so we can all get better. There's no reason to be. It's not like we have thousands of training partners where like you know every guy matters. So like I don't want to really fight any guys really in this vicinity because I want to train with them.
Yep.
But with that being said, it's tough because the 135 champion, the 125 champion, I've trained with both of them, and I like both the guys a lot. So I think Nick's gonna turn pro. So like maybe that'll be a vacated belt. Maybe I could fight Thurman. I think I'm a really bad matchup for him because I think our wrestling. I think I definitely have the advantage on the ground, but I 100% have a huge advantage on the feet. And so that would be a fun fight because I think our wrestling. I think it wouldn't be easy to just hold him down and dominate him.
He's very athletic and very like springy.
Exactly. He's gonna get up.
Whenever Nick went in for the takedown, he was like,
yeah, he gets up. And Nick has good wrestling.
Yeah.
His single's really good, and so I think that would be a really fun fight because I always test the wrestling first. If I can dominate you on the ground, I'm gonna do that every time. It's an easy way to win.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Once you start getting higher level, these guys, you can't just shoot for a takedown.
Yeah, no,
like,
everyone knows how to sprawl once in a while, you know.
Or you know, a knee's coming or an uppercut. But when my opponents like their strike, I know this sounds so silly because I was shooting for the takedowns.
Yeah.
But to an experienced eye, like if you saw when I was coming in at him quick, it was only a 9-minute fight, so you gotta go.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I was coming at him really aggressive, and he was just backing up and like getting really hot.
I know you were doing a good job at keeping him up against the cage.
And he was getting really tall.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I'm gonna take your hips every time. It's an easy takedown. And so I wanted to strike with him, but like instinctually, I'm just like, okay, give me your hip. If you're getting in the warning track and you're standing tall, like, you gotta be your center of gravity. Like
you gotta be ready for the level change.
Exactly. You gotta like his bouncing, like you do this side to side thing, which is fine, but like when someone starts tracking you down, they're level changing. You gotta follow them. You gotta bounce. You gotta get your feints. Get ready to get your underhooks in and stuff. And he wasn't doing that, so I knew I had the takedown. Uh, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to go that way. I thought he was going to have get ups, and I thought we were going to go to war.
Honestly,
That's
me
why I took
too.
the week
Honestly,
off.
I was surprised that you were able to just kind of hold him down as you did.
Dude, and I don't know if you could tell, but I did land some really hard ground and pound shots. I mean, his face
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty
no,
beat
you
up.
were going at him. You were going at him good.
Yeah, and uh, like I said, if the fight went in just a few more seconds, I think I would have finished him. He was just about to tap.
No, but three names I have for you.
Yeah,
who I would like
go ahead.
you to see fight. Julian Soroyas. I think he's a great wrestler who fights at 135. I think that'd be a fun matchup. Do you know
Yeah, I'd fight him
Marco
for sure, but
Barrios?
he can't make 135.
Uh,
So I don't know about that.
yeah. Marco Barriondo. He was the
I would
former.
love to fight him. I've messaged him. I'm like, let's fight.
Yeah.
But I'd like to fight before he turns pro because he's kind of in that New England area. He's kind of a little far away,
Yep.
but he'd be a great training partner too. So I'd love to fight him now before we
Oh
turn
yeah.
pro. So then,
No, I think that'd be a great fight. You know, he's 6-4. You're 4-0.
But he's fought tougher guys than I
Oh
have,
yeah,
so.
yeah, totally. But he has that experience level of going those 5 rounds. And
Yeah, dude, I would be a
other
serious
opponents.
problem for him. I think.
I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah, dude, I'm really excited to get to show everybody my hands because I think his wrestling would definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be easy to dominate him on the ground, so I think we'd be forced to stand and trade.
Yeah.
I do really well against southpaws. Also can fight southpaw.
Okay.
Really good. I can fight southpaw as good as I can fight orthodox. I can fight both ways.
Yeah.
So that'd be super sick matchup. I know I could. I do really well against southpaws. So.
And then another name I have for you. I don't know if you're.
Who do you think would win that fight?
Between you and Marco?
Yeah. You can say him too. I wouldn't care. Obviously.
I mean, honestly, you surprised me a lot with your wrestling this weekend. To be honest, I don't know. I honestly don't know because he has very good striking and.
You think he has good striking?
Yeah, for an amateur, yes.
Yeah.
And
I think he has. I don't think his feet are under him. When I watch him, I see a guy who's like. He looks like an orthodox to me that tries to fight southpaw.
I think he switches a lot. He likes to switch.
Yeah, like whenever he stands southpaw on, he seems really like, which as a competitor, I see this, and he can listen to this. I don't even care, because it's not easy to break this habit, but he's very like, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which as a striker, which I haven't gone to show, I think I would capitalize on that, and it would be a rough night in office for him.
Yeah, yeah.
But all right.
But, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a pretty even fight. I honestly don't know. I think it'd be pretty
I can't wait to show all you guys.
Yeah. But that'd be a good fight for Portland. February.
Yeah, dude, I'll fight him in Portland, dude. I will.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been talking shit. I'm not. If you hear this, I'm not talking shit. As a competitor, that's just what I see. I know I've made mistakes too. I'm sure you've seen some.
Is there any fight in particular that you want?
Yeah. So like you were saying earlier, there's going to be a vacant 135 belt. For that Marco guy, I heard he was also turning pro. And if that's the case, I'd love to just train with him. But if he's staying amateur, that'd be a sick 135 belt.
That'd be a very high level amateur fight too.
Yeah, no, I'd love that fight. 125.
Yep.
I would love to fight for that belt. I don't know what Jake Ferry's gonna do. I'd rather not fight him just because we have sparred, and I think we're gonna cross train a lot more at Nose Toast and stuff.
Okay.
Because I've been traveling to Nose Toast and Evolution to cross train a lot of weekends, and so like I'd rather. I don't know how it would work. He seems like a really nice guy, and I think I'd rather be his training partner. But if also I'd have no problem fighting him, and then we could just go back to being training partners. So it's up. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but also at the same time, like some people aren't really cool with that, and so it would really be up to him if he wouldn't want to fight. I totally respect that, and I'm not saying I really want to either. But if he was like cool with it, like I'd have no problem fighting someone I'm friends with. So
where else do you cross train?
So obviously my home gym is Young's,
Yep.
and I have good training partners. However, and they're really good. It's just, uh, I've been doing this for a long time, so it's hard to find guys at my level
Yeah.
that can put it all together, that can strike, and they have everything. So, um, it's a small state, so I have to kind of travel obviously to get good rounds in. So I'll go to Evolution, and I was sparring with Cam Arnold and
Yeah.
uh, Julian. I think his name's Connerton.
Connerton, yeah.
He's really good. I love that guy. He's a really cool guy.
I feel
Cam's
like
really
you
cool
two
too.
would make a fun fight, honestly. That was in the
No,
back of my head.
I wouldn't
I
fight
know
him.
he fights at
He's
like
big, dude.
125, 40.
Yeah, he's big. He's
Yeah.
big for me, dude.
Yeah.
He's if he cuts to 135, he's someone who's like I would. We've had really good rounds and stuff, but he does have a size advantage on me.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't look at him as an opponent because, like, I think we're gonna be really good training partners.
Yep.
But like on a stylistically matchup, that's just a tough fight for me because he does have a pretty significant size advantage on me, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's great, dude. He's an up and coming killer, dude. He's really good.
Yeah, all the Team Evolutions is very good. Very well.
Yeah,
done.
dude. Teddy Politis, I think his name is, also over there. I haven't really trained with him much. He wasn't really in there when I was stopping by.
He's a
But he's also
135.
someone who'd be great to train with. I know we're kind of similar size.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was also going to Nose Toast, which I love that gym. Devin Powell's, just have a really good group of guys.
Yeah.
It's good energy in the gym. I like everybody there. Kyle Kufal's a good team leader over there.
Yeah.
And then you got Kyle Hill, and then Kufal over there. Like those guys, like they're like the big dogs over there, like Grandma, the pros and stuff. And I don't know, they just have good energy. They manage a room really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cross train over there a lot too. That's where I was sparring with Jake and Ned.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really a lot of guys to fight around here other than that Marco guy. I can't think of anyone. All right, let's do
We
it.
got the UFC going here in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got the big heavyweight title fight coming up. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. Currently, John Jones is the champion, and we got Stipe coming back off his long layoff to challenge. So what do you think about that fight in the co-main event? Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler.
I'm looking at the card right now. That's a good question. So John Jones at minus 700 for his odds. Which is pretty crazy. You got to go with John Jones, greatest of all time. However, he did just have a significant shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And he's getting up there in age too. People forget he's not a young buck anymore.
37.
Either.
He's 37. That's old.
Yeah, and
but
the weird
Stipe
thing
is
about
also
age
42. But also for heavyweights, I mean
it's not as big of a deal. But
No.
my whole thing with the age is like it's weird. It's like you never know when it is. It's different for everybody, but like it's always like a one fight thing. Like Tony Ferguson, he was killing it until that one day, and now he's over
fell
the hill.
right off. Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. It's normally a one fight thing. Like that you get in a fight, and then from there on it's down the hill.
Yeah.
So that's what's scary. Is like that you. For being honest, the chances are one of them's probably over the hump.
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel like both of them kind of need to retire after this. I feel like that'd be a good send-off.
Yeah,
for both of them.
I mean, that's the thing. John Jones hasn't really fought a lot, and so and neither is Stipe, which is good. So they've definitely been, hopefully, injury-free, mostly besides that shoulder surgery. So, yeah, obviously I'm going to go with Jones. Who are you going with?
I think Jones is going to win, too. I'd really, really like to see Stipe win, though. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like Stipe a lot. I watched him fight live when he fought Francis for the first time.
Yeah, me too. I was there too. I was just about to say that. Yeah, dude. That was a boring ass fight. But I remember what's the Shane Burgos had a thick knockout. I think it was against Calvin Cater.
Yeah.
Or was it the other way?
No, it was Calvin Cater.
Calvin Cater knockout Shane Burgos.
Yeah.
That was a thick fight. Yeah, Daniel Cormier versus Ozdemir.
Vulcan,
that was a thick card. No. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, how old are you? What, are you 23?
I'm 24.
24?
Yeah,
so you're a couple years older than me. I was just a young kid. You were probably, what, like 16 when that happened? 17?
Something like that. Yeah, or how old are you?
22. I just turned 22.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I know, I'm getting old, dude, for this fighting shit. I gotta turn pro.
Yeah, time's running out.
I know, when I see the guys like, I get FOMO when I see guys like Rosas
Oh, yeah.
doing that thing at such a young age.
Yeah, that's pretty wild,
You
though.
have, yeah, UFC's doing such a good job with him too, getting him the right fights, and that kid can fucking fight, dude. Ricky Trucios is no joke, dude. He was legit. He
Yeah.
beat some good guys. I mean, he beat some other guys who are in the UFC now, and he beat them, and like Rosas, dude. I'm telling you what, dude. That kid's a lot better than people give him credit for, dude. He's gonna be a fucking
Do you
monster.
have a favorite UFC fighter, current or retired?
Oh, that's a good question, dude. Recency bias is a real thing, obviously. Um, Obviously, like McGregor was the man. Like that's when I first got into fighting. Like
Yeah.
McGregor, I remember watching him fight Eddie Alvarez, and he was just like, I was like, oh, So yeah, McGregor, dude, he was the man, dude. I love Sean too. Uh,
Sean
I
Strickland?
definitely love Strickland, dude. Strickland's funny, man. I think he's kind of weird, but
Yeah, I think he's kind of weird too.
yeah, like he's a little like it seems like he's like almost like the fame kind of changed him. Like everyone's like, oh, he's crazy, this and that, but it's almost like he's kind of like fed into it a little bit, where like
I
he's a
think
little
so.
like
Yeah, like like Colby did. Colby.
Yeah, he's like yeah, and I know a lot of people who trained at gyms with him and stuff when I was in that New Mexico, and like a lot of them said he's crazy as shit, but like I don't know if he was that crazy. But dude, are you ever considering getting in the cage again? Nah.
I don't know. I kind of want to. Like whenever I'm there at the events, I'm like, I want to go back in again. It's fun, but
Dude, it's so
at the same
fun.
time, I need to like. I don't have a gym right now, so I would need to start training MMA again. I just like lift weights.
Yeah, you
at
need
the
a
gym. I
gym.
don't
You
go
need a
to a
gym.
mixed martial arts gym. I live in Portland, Maine now.
Oh, so there's plenty of good gyms
Oh
around.
yeah,
You just
yeah, there is.
not yeah.
I'm just also super busy. I'm a personal trainer, so I'm always my time is very like
Self-employed, brother.
busy. Yeah, I'm very busy.
How sick is it? Do you like it?
I love it. I love it. I
That's
work
good.
out
That's
all the
good.
time, so I'm still in shape. But yeah, and every
Yeah,
now and
dude,
again, I'll throw hit some pads and stuff with my coworker. But you know,
Well, no, it's so sick that you're going down the self. Wait, so do you work for someone else, or are you self-employed? I guess I shouldn't have assumed
oh,
that.
so I work at a gym in Portland, Maine called Bay Club Fitness. It's like right in Monument Square, One City Center. So I work there, and then I also work at another gym called F45 Training. So
Okay.
so one's all
That's cool.
class based, and then the other is where I do like one-on-one training with individual people. So
Right. Yeah. So no, I actually had some questions for you.
yeah.
So so for my fight, when you watched it, what were you guys? What was your general like? What were you? Do you remember what you guys were kind of saying about the like from your perspective? What did you really see? I know you said you're surprised about the wrestling,
Yeah.
but what else did you see? As like, feel free to be a critic too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hurt my feelings, but what did you see?
I have not
What did
rewatched
you
the
want to
fight.
see?
I think just your pressure, your forward pressure of cutting off the cage, getting him getting him up against the cage, and then you taking him down and holding him there, like you would ride his back and stuff like that. And I thought you were going to TKO him a few times, but he stayed in there.
Yeah.
You didn't look like too gassed when you went back to the stool. You came back up and right again. You just came up ready to go.
Right.
So yeah, no, that was good. I feel like you mixed in your punches good to disguise your takedowns and stuff like that. Did he shoot any takedowns on you? I don't remember.
I actually can't remember. I was obviously being really crowding. I was getting him on his heels.
Yeah.
But it's because he let me do it. He didn't give me any energy back.
Well, I
so
feel like that was also a good key to victory, because if you kind of just stood here and let him kind of control, honestly, I wanted him to. I think one thing I was saying during the commentary was, I want him to throw more jabs, uppercuts, kicks to keep you away, keep his distance, because he's the taller fighter with the longer limbs, so he should gauge his punches.
Exactly what he should have done. He should have pressed, gave me something to look at. Like I said, I felt him just looking for that right hand. He was really looking for that right hand, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pressing him really heavy because I expected him to come out. Because in his other fights, he would come out with a fast flurry really quick.
Yeah.
So my game plan was to crowd him, and we said if he gets tall, take his hips.
Yeah.
But I was getting ready for him to come with like a quick, fast combo, and so I was getting ready to counter. That's why I was so like loaded, is I was getting ready to slip rip. I was wait, and I think he knew I was looking for that big punch.
Yeah.
But then he just kind of he was pausing a little bit, so then I took his hips. But I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think if he, for obviously one, he needed to get up. He didn't show any get up, cage get up, or wall riding.
I feel like in the first round he was looking for a triangle off of his back.
Did you hear me talking shit to him the whole fight?
I could see. Yeah, you were chirping at him. You were chirping.
The ref. Did you hear what the ref said?
No.
The ref said in all of his 20 years of reffing, he said his UFC and everything, he said he's never heard someone talk more in a fight. Dude, I was there talking to him the whole time. Like, he kept going for triangle. I'm like, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
He kept going. I'm like, don't give me your wrist. Don't give me your wrist. I'm like, oh, how does that feel? How does that feel? How does that feel? And I was there talking to him the whole time. I honestly got more gas from talking than from what I was doing. Because I was running out of breath because I was talking so much.
If you want to say anything, thank you, sponsors, whatever. Plug your Instagram, and then we'll get this wrapped up.
Yeah, you can follow me at Jackson Campbell, I think, with an I on Instagram. I don't even know my username. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram if you want to, follow for my next fight news. For my sponsors, can't even remember most of them. Honestly, I'm terrible. Got Portland Pie. Who cares? Who even cares? Who cares?
Whatever.
But yeah, that's
Whatever. I hope to see you fight again, and then we'll do another show like this sometime soon.